if you haven't filed a tax return and you're married, you may want to put a little bit more thought into how you file your tax return. I'm Michael Redden, and I'm a tax attorney here in the Twin Cities, and I help taxpayers who have debt with the IRS or their state taxing authorities settle that debt and get compliant. Now, there are a lot of Americans who haven't filed at least one tax return, okay? At least 10 million of them that the IRS knows about. Now, when you're married, this has a little more complicated wrinkle in it, right? Because you can choose to file married filing jointly or married filing separately. Now, think about your situation here, okay? If you know you're going to owe taxes, you know you might owe penalties and things like that, think about whether or not you should file jointly or separately. The common wisdom is that you should always file married filing jointly because you might owe less tax. But if you're anticipating a tax debt or you haven't filed in a while, you should really rethink this. Because when you file jointly, then both spouses are liable for the debt completely. When you file separately, and if only one of the spouses has the tax burden, because let's say that one spouse owns a business or something like that, then only that taxpayer will owe the money. This can become even more important when you look at your assets, right? What if your house is only in one taxpayer's name? If that's not the taxpayer who had the business or the debt, filing jointly could jeopardize that house because the tax lien that comes out will be against you both. Additionally, one taxpayer may have gainful employment while the other one has that business that's suffering and going through all this hardship, and that's why you owe the tax. And if you file jointly, now that the debt is owed by you both, they can go garnish the taxpayer's wages who's actually earning money, and that could put a lot more stress on the family and a lot more stress on the household. There also could be a little bit of a strategy going here too, because the person who owes the tax debt, it's what they can pay and what they can do that determines how you can settle that debt, right? And there may be a little bit that you can do with having one spouse not owe the debt to help the family get through it and still make it easier to settle that debt. So what you really need to remember is, before you file jointly, is it something that you want both spouses to owe? Are there property that one spouse owns that you want to protect? Because filing jointly may lower your bill a little bit, but if you're going to owe a lot of money anyway, and there's going to be liens and garnishments potentially, you might not want to have that tax debt be on you both. Now, if you or someone you know has an IRS problem or a state tax problem and you'd like to talk to me, please go to taxhelpmeeting.com. That's taxhelpmeeting.com, and we can set up a time to talk.